I am Hari Kumar with Insights. The focus on infrastructure and construction sectors. In the budget 2022-23 introduced by India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has evoked much criticism from a section of economists as well as the Western media. They point out that the government should have directly pumped in money into the pockets of consumers, uh, encourage consumer spending. According to them, that would have spurred economic activity and consumer spending and would have resulted in an immediate growth of Indian economy. However, the strategy of BJP government seems to be different. Now, before going into the merits and demerits of the argument of the Western media, as well as those economists who are critical of the BJP government, let us look into the focus on infrastructure and uh, construction by the BJP government. Even during the days of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he became the Prime Minister in 1998, the focus of the BJP government has been development of infrastructure as well as construction. So it seems that the strategy of the government is to kill two birds with one stone. That is, by investing in infrastructure and construction, the government is creating long-term assets. At the same time, the trickle-down effect from the investments is going to create more jobs and eventually growth of economy. So the BJP strategy is very clear. Now, before going into the merits and demerits of the strategy and the arguments of those who support the policies of BJP government as well as those who criticize it, let us have a look into the focus on infrastructure and what the government is doing on the infrastructure front. The current budget has really emphasized the focus on infrastructure, which is a policy of the BJP. On the expenditure side, around more than 35% increase has been recorded in the capital expenditure front. So this mainly goes to the development of transport infrastructure, that is roads, bridges, tunnels, railway lines, ports, etc. So the government has been investing hugely especially on the road front. The most evident and explicit example of the focus on road development is Prime Minister's Gati Shakti. So it's a platform which combines several sectors, almost 15 sectors, and which includes around 9,000 projects. This has actually subsumed many earlier infrastructure projects like the Bharat Mala Pariyojana, which was also introduced by the BJP government, which aims to connect 500 district capitals in India through four-lane highways. And then there was the Sagarmala project, which aims to improve the water transport by building more ports, by widening of the waterways, and through many other actions. Then there was earlier the National Highway Development Project. Then the other projects for the infrastructure development all have been subsumed by the Prime Minister's Gati Shakti, and the focus in the budget of Nirmala Sitharaman has been Prime Minister's Gati Shakti. Along with earmarking more than 2 lakh crores for the PM Gati Shakti, the central government has also earmarked a fund of rupees 1 lakh crore for giving interest-free loans to states for implementing the PM Gati Shakti project. And before that, even before the present budget, the present government has announced major programs on the infrastructure front. And one of the main programs was the National Infrastructure Pipeline. The National Infrastructure Pipeline consists of around 9,000 projects. Initially it was around 6,000, then it was increased to over 7,000, and currently it's around 9,000 projects. So the budget outlay is huge. If you consider the budget outlay for the National Infrastructure NIP, it comes to over 1.4 trillion US dollars. So the magnitude is definitely huge. You just need to compare it with the recent US infrastructure bill as well as the One Road, One Belt or OBR project of China. The National Infrastructure Fund project of the United States is around 1.3 trillion US dollars. So India's is a bit more than that, and it is equal to China's OBR project, which also has a budget of around 1.4 trillion US dollars. And India's project actually is much higher than the European Union's the Global Gateway project, which is the budget of which is around 600 billion US dollars. So it is very clear the government wants to have spent hugely. It is like almost in 5 years from 2020 to 2025, the government of India wants to spend 111 lakh crore Indian rupees on the national infrastructure projects. So there are huge funds for the development of infrastructure projects, and definitely it is going to trickle down. So for a country like India, this is going to be a wise strategy. So let us go back into the earlier question. Should the government have given money directly into the account of the public, or is the present strategy of investing in infrastructure the right way? I would say that for a country like India, which needs huge infrastructure development, the long-term strategy is the best. For some Western countries like the United States or the UK or other European Union countries, perhaps directly giving money to the public and improving consumer spending would be the right way, but Indian economy works in a different way. So it is very clear the strategy of the union government to invest hugely in the infrastructure government is the right way to spend in the Indian context. So that is for today. Meet you the next week with another topic. Till then, goodbye. Namaskaram.